Good morning. Good morning. I have been debating for about an hour on what I wanted to say and just pushing that button. My why. I don't even know where to begin. This may not be a good time to do it because everybody in the house is awake, but good morning, sweetheart. But I just feel so strong about doing this today. Good morning, Lisa. Hey, Kelly. I learned over the last year to be unashamed. I lived many years ashamed, not only of myself, but of choices that my mom made. Although my mom was extremely loving and nurturing, I could not have asked for a better mom sober. But my mom was an addict. And because my mom was an addict, I allowed that to control my life. I educated myself and educated myself and educated myself on addiction so that I never became that person. I was so ashamed. I would go in the grocery store and I looked just like my mom. I would go in the grocery store and someone would say, "Oh my gosh, you're Sonia's daughter." And my heart would sink. I would be so ashamed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they about to say? What do they know? So that's why I'm coming to you like this, raw. This is me, and I'm unashamed. I refuse to be ashamed of my story. I refuse to be ashamed of a woman that gave me life. She was there when I took my first breath, and I was there when she took her last. And I refuse to be ashamed of her. I refuse to be ashamed of the lessons that I was taught by her addiction, because what she taught me was far more important than me being ashamed. She adored us. She loved us. She hid it from us. And I am grateful for her, and I am blessed to have her, to have had her. But it's not, my mom is not my only story. I grew up the tall, thin girl, knee knocker, not an extra pound on my body. And everybody that saw me or knew me would say, "Girl, you are so skinny. You are so skinny. You should be thankful you're so skinny, blah, blah, blah." I hated to have attention on me. I don't like to be the center of attention. I don't like people staring at me. And that's another thing with these lives. It was huge for me to step out of my comfort zone and do these lives, but it's something that I had to do for me. And they'd say, "Don't even worry about being skinny, because when you have that first baby, you'll put some weight on." Okay, well, honey, let me tell you, 2 babies later, I still didn't have weight on. 3rd baby, I gained a few extra pounds. The only reason I weigh what I weigh is because I have thyroid disease, which I'm thankful for. So looking in the mirror, I picked myself apart, and I picked myself apart, and I found every single flaw that I could possibly find from the youngest age, because everybody would say, you are so skinny, you are so skinny. So I started seeing myself as the woman that looked in the mirror, the child that looked in the mirror and saw bones covered in skin. And that's all I saw. And I was so ashamed of me. And I was so ashamed that I couldn't change that. I tried so hard to change that and to gain the weight. And then I thought, well, because we all went through this aerobics phase as teenagers. You know, now it's yoga and CrossFit and all this. But back when I was a teenager, it was aerobics. So I went through this aerobics phase, and I was like, well, I'll just build muscle. And I'll be bulkier that way. No, that didn't work. I was still stick thin. And I was ashamed. I was so embarrassed of that. And then my mom would say things like, chin up, shoulders back. Chin up, shoulders back. And it was constant, chin up, shoulders back. And I knew that I had inherited this chin. And so it was always chin up, chin up, chin up. You have a double chin, chin up. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I have this chin. And so now I see it. Like when I take pictures, I'm like, oh my God, double chin, chin up. And so I would pick myself apart about that. My face was super sensitive, so I couldn't allow the kids or whatever to touch on my face. Then I end up with a medical disease that discolors my face. And so then I was ashamed of that. I was like, oh my gosh, now I've got discoloration on my face. It goes up my forehead. But that's my story. That's who I am. I am a daughter of addiction. I am a girl that grew up thin. I am a survivor of thyroid disease. That's who I am. That's my story. And I have had several people that would say, you just think you're perfect. You think you're perfect. That used to hurt my feelings so bad, because I believe that there's only one perfect person, and it's not me. No one can pick me apart more than I pick me apart. No one can criticize me more than I criticize myself. But you know what? I was forgiven hundreds of years ago by somebody that is more mighty than anybody out there that can tell me that I'm skinny, that I think that I'm perfect. Because those opinions no longer matter to me. I've tried every single day to make the best choices I could make that day, because I was ashamed to make the same choices that my mom made. I allowed that to control me, to define me. And so I didn't make the terrible decisions that other people made. However, I made a lot of foolish mistakes. I was a teenager. I was young. We've all been there. But we have to realize that you have to love you. You have to accept you. You cannot be ashamed. No one can get up and do it for you. Do not wait for someone else to validate who you are as a human being, because it is not going to happen. You validate you. You were forgiven. You've been forgiven. But it is your choice to get up every day and be the best you that you can be. It is your choice every day to get up and look in that mirror and find two things about yourself. One on the outside. Please get off my desk, you're shaking it. One physical, outside, and one inside. Every day. And every day when you look in that mirror, you say that to yourself 50 times a day if that's what it takes. That's what you do. I have pretty eyes. And every day when you look in that mirror, you say, I have really pretty eyes. I love my eyes. But you find that inner also, and you say, I have a really big heart, and I love people, and I care about people. Every day, that's what you do. And then the next day, you find something different. You know what? I have really pretty skin, or I have really pretty lips, or you know what? I'm 5'9", and I'm not a big person. I am a thinner person, and you know what? That's okay. That's okay. It's okay that I'm 5'9". That makes me special. And you know what else makes me special? That I love others, and I truly, genuinely love to see people happy. Some people don't care if other people are happy. That's something they have to deal with, not you. I love to see other people happy, and you tell yourself that every day, every single day since I had Nikaylee, even as a baby in the hospital, I looked at her and I told her, you are perfect the way you are, just the way you are. Your skin is beautiful, your hair is beautiful, and you are perfect. And I did the same with Dathan, and I did the same with Kayla, because I refused for someone to look at those babies and tell them, you are too thin, you are tall and skinny, you are not good enough. They may say it to them, but my kids know better. They know better, because every day of their life I have told them, you are perfect the way you are, not the way other people see you. And that's all that matters. I really thought I was going to cry through this, and I didn't. I've got my tissue sitting right here, so I'm super proud of me. But I still struggle. I still get up and I struggle. I look at myself in this mirror or in the phone now, and I can see my spots. I can see my dark circles. I can see that where I've got a scar in this eyebrow. So when I talk with my forehead, but I raise the muscle that was cut through whenever I had stitches. This eyebrow raises up. And so a lot of times when I take a picture, like this eyebrow is taller, so it looks like I have one eyebrow on my forehead, but I don't. It's because, you know, but that was something I would point the picture different. So, but that's who I am. I have a scar that ran through that muscle, and it raises that eyebrow up. And if other people don't get it, so what? So what? I suffered for 2 years through thyroid disease before I finally felt like a half normal perfect person. And if other people don't get it, so what? I earned these spots. I suffered, and now I'm a survivor. And if these are my battle scars, those are my battle scars, and it is what it is. Okay? So love you every day, even on your bad days, even when you feel like you can't raise your head up. Know that I love you, and that I do a blanket prayer for you, and that I am proud of you, and to be proud of yourself, because you're strong, and because you're a survivor. You're not a victim. And please just love you. And if you can't find that love for you, inbox me, and I will help you work through it. We will do it together. You are not bothering me. It's what I love. I love people, and I love to love people. And life is a journey, and it's hard. Life is hard. And even though I don't say the word sucks, and I don't allow my kids to say it, life freaking sucks sometimes, y'all. It's hard, and it freaking sucks. So inbox me, and I will be there. I will pray with you, and I will love you, and I will do my best to help you validate you. So I'm going to get off here and I'm going to unpack from my trip. I had an amazing time. I met people that I felt were my best friends from the moment that I met them. And so I am so truly blessed and truly loved. And anyway, I could talk all day long, but know that I love you all. And if you need me, I am here 24 hours a day.